that's ISO.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post the same now, I've been humble too long.
David Connelly, Connelly Boxing. I'm joined here with the one and only $1 Million Crolla. Andy, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's great having you boys down. Good sparring there, like I say, a few good sparring. And no, it's always good. Saturday morning, why not?
Down with Willie Lemond, a couple of the boys sparring. Who have you got in camp now?
So in camp, well, they've all just boxed actually, to be honest. By one lad. So the last 2 weeks, I've had 4 of them out. Bobby, you we just saw have some good rounds with Martin Cross, and he was going to fight, but the show fell through 5 weeks, so he's going to box now in around 8 weeks. Who else? So, and then the other one with a date is Alex Dilmagani's fighting for the British title. He's late February.
What weight's he at?
Super featherweight, him and Liam Dillon. So for the British title, for me, the most beautiful belt in the game, isn't it? And we also were just waiting on dates after Rhiannon Dixon. She just had a good win. James Moorcroft, James was in today. You saw him. He lives it. He lives it. So hopefully in the next, few months, 6 months, he gets a chance. Sahir, he's a super talent. He boxed just before, same night as Rhiannon, but on a different show. So I was in Leeds and flew up to Liverpool.
Did you have to go in between?
They had Rhiannon on first because it started early with the football at around. She was on in 2:15, and Sahir was on about 10:30 at night, 11 at night. So yeah, 2 different venues, but no, all good. I'm trying to think, we've mixed there, so just don't want to miss anyone. Jake James, he come through his first 8 rounder. So him and James, I reckon, will be around March. Rhiannon will be March. Sahir, he might be Feb. Bobby will be Feb. Alex is Feb. So yeah, they'll all sort of be training so over Christmas, ready to go. I think, like I say, I don't believe in, you enjoy Christmas with a family, but there's none of them who are fighting in January. It's going to be, hardcore.
Can get a wee bit of food.
That's it. My younger brother William, he's going to turn over. Now he had 7 years away from it, so he's going to turn over in the new year as well.
I was talking to him there. How do you feel with your brother turning pro? How's that?
Of course, it's not something I ever, for a while I didn't want it for a while, but then I've seen the way, we'll be the first to admit, he was living a bit stupid and stuff like that, and I've seen like the dedication he's shown, and I always I will say, without being cheesy, I'll say how he's changed his life, and boxing's been good for him for that reason. Do you know what I mean? It's given him a focus, given him a drive, and he's talented as well. Not only that, he's talented, and he's living it now for the first time. I think even when he was an amateur, to be honest, he's done all right as a schoolboy. Should have won a national title or 2 really, but he wasn't training the way he should have done. Do you know, even at that age. So now he's training proper for the first time. And yeah, that's it. So we're excited to go into 2023. We're busy, stable, like you say there now. There's I think this is 6 or 7. So Rhiannon, Will, James, Jake, Sahir, Bobby, Alex. 7 already, I don't count.
I know that many. You still got a lot of amateurs as well, then.
Yes. So we're busy with the amateurs. John Hutchinson, Dom Senior, Charlie O'Brien, John Sheridan, some of the other coaches here. Jimmy Lewis, of course, he's the godfather of us all. He's like mid-80s, but he's still down here and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? He found the club, and yeah, we're busy. We're busy with the amateurs as well. I'll be honest, like I say, I wish I could spend more time. I still get in with him a few times a week. Was in with him last night, but we'll have a good next 12 months. We'll have a great little squad. A lot of them are sort of just starting off now and stuff like going through that transition where there's an handful of them who are a bit more experienced than others, but kids who are having their first fight, but some good little bit of talent here, and on the estate where it is, this estate is like a bit of a breeding ground for good little fighters, so we'll have a good little team in the next 12 months for sure.
Brilliant. On that, how do you spend your time? How do you sort of, have you got slots for each, because you've got so many professionals now?
Like I said, I didn't plan on having one professional. I've ended up, like you say, with bloody more than 7. I think you've got to give them their allocated time on certain days. And certain days you bring them in, they can train together. But when certain fighters have got fights, you might bring them in at certain times, you know, and then obviously fight week you might just be sharpening them up, so they'll have the last week to sort of have more allocated time to themselves. Do you know what I mean? But each and every fighter I try and give, you know, me 100% to, and if I can't do that, then it wouldn't be fair on them.
What about are a lot of them at the same weight? So you've got in-house sparring, or do you?
Sparring actually with James and Jake, the same weight. Sahir's just a weight above them, but he probably walks around lighter than a lot of them. There's Bobby who's thereabouts, a little bit lighter than him. So then my brother William, he's there sort of a similar weight as well. So it's all good enough. Other than Rihanna, who I'll probably do a bit of sparring with, and Alex, they're all around the same weight.
That's good. That's brilliant. What about this premises? Is that it? No more hiccups since the dreaded fire the last time?
I can't. So obviously we had two fires, didn't we? We had the fire at the old place. No, Willie had been there years ago.
That's right.
Burnt down to the ground. That was we was just one of many businesses in there. There was an arson attack on the building. You know, there was about, I think there's about 10 gyms in this mill, little gyms, but we was on the top floor, and we was just sort of very unlucky. It's never come out what really happened. It was a very strange thing seen, but anyway, and then we was here, and then the football club, as you've seen, so their changing rooms was next door. That set on fire, and the boiler, and it set through in here, so this place was left a mess. So I thought we're gonna have to knock it down. But if you've seen it now, you wouldn't think it, would you?
No, it's absolutely
you wouldn't think
stunning.
it. So
it's a really good setup.
Yeah, we're really happy with where we're at.
So what's the plans for any of the, apart from the guy having the British title? Have you get any other titles?
So no.
What's Rhiannon?
Rhiannon, she looked really well last time out, didn't she? She impressed a lot of people, and I think this year she'll fight for titles. But with Rhiannon, I say it all the time, she had no amateur experience. She's had 7 white collar fights, 7 professional fights, and I think where she's at right now, sort of in her career, and you know, I think when we seen the performance last time out over 8 rounds, it's a bit like, how she managed that with, you know, no, she's a very quick learner. I don't want to rush her, but I believe that she'll. I think she'll listen. And we'll start talking titles. Like I say, she's got learning to do, but I believe she has got the talent and potential to go the whole way. I do believe that. I know, you know, in any sport like that, to get a world title or to reach the very best, people go, oh no, don't come into it. Luck does come into it. But she's got a good team behind her. And with that little bit of luck, she keeps on making the improvements which she does. I have no reason why she can't go all the way to the very top.
So I'll keep an eye on it. What about, is that the camp closed as far as professionals, or are you always looking to take more in?
I'm not looking to take any on. And then, like I say, I think I've ended up with 7. I forget, like I say, I keep out to go through it thinking I've forgot someone, but we'll see. It's I try and still get up to Joe Gallagher's gym. Once, twice a week.
Touch with Joe and that?
Yeah, so I'll put a bit there. So it's just obviously it's just finding the time, isn't it? And then when you've got your own stable of fighters, but we'll see what we do going forward, but mix it up with the amateurs. I mean, all the time in the gym there, you see the classroom through there. We have the schools in a little bit as well. So
how did all that come about? Was that your own initiative?
Yeah, it was me and it was with me old schoolers, you know, and a few more schools in the area coming. It's really rewarding. So, and my friend Dom, he'll have some of the children who are sort of might be on the last sort of chance, you know, with education, and he's with them daily. So there's a lot of good that goes on here as well. And do you know what as well? And some of these kids, they don't realise, don't wrong, listen, their behaviour sometimes it's just bad sometimes, but they've got a bit of a story as well, and it's not always that straightforward. But we've saw a few of them come away from here, and they're just different, you know, the young adults, and it's nice to see.
Boxing does it better than any other sport, bringing the respect, the discipline.
Absolutely.
It brings out the best in the children, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. And like some of the kids and some of the teachers who bring them, you don't understand, they've been looking to this all, they're buzzing for it all week, and like they come, and then sometimes we threaten them with this, we're behaving well, so it's good. It's like that. When I say threaten them, do you know what I mean? You dangle the carrot with them, don't you, with some of the kids, and they come down, they do a session and stuff every week.
Reverse psychology,
of course,
they can't get
yeah. So, but no, it's good, and I just think, listen, boxing's been good to me. It's nice to give something back, but also, yeah, it's I'm in this place an awful lot. Like say, retired, I'm in the boxing gym more than ever. Not necessarily training myself. Like I'll still stay tick over, but I don't not really.
You're looking well. You must still be doing a
No, thank you, but it's very little boxing work. But like when you're in there, you're doing a lot of pads with the fighters, stuff like that. It's what's it called? You're keeping active. You're doing a little bit of strength, but you're keeping active. You've got to, I believe you know, a young coach. You've got to and stuff like that. And I think it's important to strengthen up the muscles around the elbows. I don't want to be one of those guys. You give me a brilliant set of pads today, but I think. See, I don't want to be one of those coaches in years walking around with elbows and wrist problems and stuff like that. So I think it's important to build the muscles around the you know, the joints and stuff that are going to be taking the impact.
Well, we'll wrap it up because we've got to get back up the road. Anthony, pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to chat.
Honestly, it's a pleasure having you, and I really appreciate what you brought down. I really mean it. Like the fantastic gear the lads have made up with it.
Thank you very much, Anthony.
Thank you.
Crolla. Cheers.
Sam.
That's ISO. Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post to say now, I've been humble too long.